everybody, and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. I am Nikki. Here are some more of my musings. I have 7 TNs today, Traveler's Notebook journals, to show you. I have 2 sets of 2 and then 3 kind of individuals. And I'm not sure we're going to get all through all of these today. However, these 2 are like very similar, so maybe we can, but I'm going to not talk that much up front. This is just part of my getting through scraps, getting through, continuing on with my whole getting rid of, works in progress, things that I had started, things I had printed and set aside that have been just sitting in a pile. I am doing it. I am getting them out of I'm getting them out to you guys. I'm making them, I'm building them, I'm constructing them, I'm putting them together. These have been a joy. This is a completely eclectic group of journals right here on my desk. They are so random, and you will see that as we go. I've got some bright, like summery spring florals, and I've just got a little bit of everything. So I'm just gonna push all of these up like this, and let's see. Let's start with the non-pair ones. I'm gonna push those up there. So this one is like vintage fragments. This has 60 pages and it measures 4.5 by 8.5. And it has, the cover is one of the collages that I made when I was doing all of my scrap busting collages. And then I have put a little bit of beeswax. Let's see, not sure if that's going to reflect. Anyway, it just gives it this really great hand feel. The spine has some muslin sewn onto it to reinforce it. And then the edges are sewn around, kind of encased with a zigzag stitch over the edge to give it some support and structure. And then this one I think has some of the Tracy stuff, some Tracy stuff in here, Tracy Fox. So this just closes with an elastic. There's plenty of room, so you could build this thing up more if you want. But it's just slipped through the stitching, the seam binding here, just so you won't lose it. And in the front, there's a little pocket, and in the pocket there is a little journal card that could be, you could put your little information, personal information stuff there. And then this is Tracy's Fragmentology TN kit, but there's other Tracy stuff in here as well as some of my stuff. This is a little pocket up front. And then there is a pocket behind it as well with just, I did a bunch of polka dot dyeing, so you'll see a bunch of that in here. And then this kit, it's just so pretty. I really like her Fragmentology kit. And then there's just a whole bunch of stuff from my stash, stuff from my scrap busting, all kinds of stuff. These are Tracy bits. Tracy labels, more Tracy labels. There's crocheted lace on the edges of several of the pages. These are just, the colors are so pretty. And then there are some quotes in there as well, just some random writing quotes and stuff. There's a little envelope right here and a little note card inside of it. This is a bag that has, this is from Graphics Fairy. Yeah, I found, as I was going through my stuff, I must have gone crazy one day over on Graphics Fairy and printed off a ton of, there are just some little collages, little scrappy snippets and collages in here too. Printed out, so I was at Graphics Fairy and I must have just printed off a ton of stuff, like from the premium site that I am a member of, and I just must have gone off because I found a ton of things that I had printed. This is got a little eyelet in it here, and so these things kind of spin around on the eyelet. You can move them around, right? And then that's just clipped in. Oops. Up here. So yeah, I found a bunch of Graphics Fairy journal cards and things. This goes behind the bag, and there is a Hermelinda tag in there. And then some big tags. These are my words from my Peculiar Words cards. There's more Graphics Fairy. More little, you get a bunch of little words with Tracy's Fragmentology kit. I put one of the tags sideways. I believe these are both Graphics Fairy. Some fun playing card paper. This was just in my stash. Polka dot paper. Love that stuff. This is the middle of the signature. And there's a sideways ticket, and it has two little collaged tags in there. And then this is a tuck spot pocket, and it has a Tim Holtz little metal charm and then another eyelet, and these things spin around on that eyelet. But I don't want to adjust them too much, and then that just goes over and under there. Then here we have an envelope that's a big pocket behind it with a tag and a word card. And then this pocket is from Graphics Fairy 2, I believe. And it opens up, and there are a couple of journaling cards. Those, I think, are Tracy's from Fragmentology. So then this is the windy guy. That's my technical term for that closure. Some more collaging. Another tag turned sideways with some more journaling cards in there. Those are Graphics Fairy. And another little tag from my stash. Some more crocheted lace there. A little Tracy tag from the kit. Tuck spot with a couple more. Those are both Graphics Fairy. Then I've got some sideways pockets, tag here, journaling card here, some of Tracy's word labels, random word labels, and then two little tiny tags. You know, I'm a huge fan of the teeny tiny tags. Look at those. So cute. Oh, I have that clipped over 2 pages. That's that page. And then this clips in another one of those eyelet windy tags, right? And this one has a little bicycle on it. Cute. So random and vintagey stuff in this one. Here's another belly band behind this word antique word card. Another quote here from Tennyson, and another little cluster, the other side of that paper bag, and it has, I think that's from Tracy's kit, and then a little tag here. Another envelope, and that has a journaling card in it. There we go. Another quote. That one is from Shelley. So plenty of journaling space in these. This one has little file folder, flip down, writable spots there. Or you could glue the sides of them shut and stick tags and things in there as well if you wanted to. There's my maker's mark, and on the back there is a waterfall notebook here as well. So that's that one. Like I said, 60 pages. We're calling it Vintage Fragments because I hate making up names for things and I'm bad at it. So there's that. I'm going to set that over there. We'll go to this next one. Oh, let me put my little note with it. Okay, this one, whoops, random papers. This one is Grungy Boho. It is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it has 56 pages in it. This is another cover that is made from my collage papers. So it has just that really cool hand texture to it. There's some sewing pattern paper over the top of just a bunch of stuff. Again, it's got some washi and then ribbon sewn to reinforce the spine. And then it's got that kind of encapsulated zigzag stitch around the edge. It's got lots of good, fun, fluffy stuff on the side. And let's see, then it just unties with a piece of seam binding that is, again, just threaded through the binding there. And then it's got some fun beads tied on the seam binding there. And on the front, it says, "Start each day with a grateful heart." And this is just a cluster of a bunch of stuff. And let's go inside this one. This one had 56 pages, but she's a chunky monkey, huh? But this is like Grungy Boho. This one was fun. First of all, we have an envelope flip. These are some stained glass papers that I just had printed. And then this is Medieval Mirage. There's a bunch of that in here too. I think it's called Boho something, that kit from Medieval Mirage. And then I don't remember who the stained glass pages are, but I've had those for a while. So I've done tons of fun stitching, lots of like, you know, kind of chunky clusters. And then I used some of the Tim Holtz phrases. So those are just kind of throughout. This one says, "Be you bravely." These are Graphics Fairy, more of my Graphics Fairy printing binge. This one says, "Today is full of possibilities." And we've got washi and butterflies and ribbon on this ripped pocket here. Then this is some washi and sari sewn onto the edge of this super yummy crinkly baking paper that's been coffee stained. This is this big ribbon, or not, that's not ribbon, that's called lace. And I've used this as pockets kind of throughout. Graphics Fairy and Medieval Mirage. All right. I've used a bunch of my rip strips, the frames, vintage frames rip strips, as labels throughout here. And then some of Gail Agostinelli's trims. Oh, I finally got to use these. I have these big luscious, they're dimensional. Can you see that? They're dimensional, these roses. And they come together on a big trim, but you snip them apart. And so, yeah. And then this is some brocade ribbon here. Can you see that? Yeah. And so it's on a flip, and it makes a pocket though behind that ribbon. And there's a fold-out journaling card here. More of that wonderful like stained glass paper. This says, "Make today count." This is coffee filter pocket here, and just a collaged journaling card. Grungy, I tried to find some of my grungy coffee stained papers, so that's what that is. This is a bunch of layered pockets with washi and sari silk and some fancy stitching on there, right? And then more fancy stitching over sari silk, and this little journal card that says, "Free spirit, live simply." That goes in that front one. That's the top. It goes in there. And then Graphics Fairy and one of my word cards. Fargen. Yiddish. It means to wholeheartedly appreciate the success of others. That is a lovely thought. And I actually do love to see others succeed. Okay. Another little cluster with a butterfly that wings are dimensional up off the page there. And it says, "Practice kindness." A tuck spot. And that's Medieval Mirage. There's some, I have some of this gold, yeah, you can really see that on the camera, washi kind of throughout as well. Another pocket with that cool lace, a couple of journal cards. Another one of those rose brocade ribbon pockets. And in here I've got a couple of Medieval Mirage journaling cards and a larger piece there you could write on as well. And then that whole thing flips out to the grunginess of this coffee stain paper. Then this is a pocket and a tuck spot. Behind it there are a couple of tags. And then in this smaller pocket on top of the tuck spot there are some Medieval Mirage tags in there. This is a tuck spot or a belly band there, and this tag just goes behind it, and it's got, I put a bunch of like scrapped sari silk that I had, just little chunks of stuff left on here. This says be open to whatever comes next. This is one of Gail's trims, and I've got a couple Medieval Mirage tags up top and a Graphics Fairy tag on the bottom. Another big lace pocket, and here is a Medieval Mirage envelope with a matching journal card in there. And then that just tucks behind this little circle. And this says what seems ordinary is often the extraordinary. And that goes in there. Another little 3D butterfly, a la Gina at Firefly Studio 67. She loves to do these little, so every time I see them I'm like, yep, that's such a cute idea. When you open it up and they're like dimensional off the page. And it says be authentic. This one says let life surprise you, but not too much. Another pockets, layered pockets like we did before with the sari and the fancy stitching. Tags, another word card. This is saudade, the melancholic longing or nostalgia for a person, place, or thing that is far away from you. Oh, we all know that feeling, don't we? Longing for somebody that's far away. Another tag, and this is a little 3D butterfly on there as well. This one says embrace the journey, and it just has some stitching back and forth on that little cluster. More of this pretty, look at that, it's really pretty paper. I like that. Another cluster. Another pocket with some journaling cards in it. More of that crinkly paper with, that has, I don't know if you can see it, it's some washi with gold foiling, and then also a strip of sari sewn down that has gold stitching in it, but I don't know if that picks up really well. And then another big corner pocket with a butterfly, and it says travel the world over to find the beautiful on this big ripped corner pocket, and another tag behind there. This says do your best, and some vine stitching over here to keep this flap of the envelope down, and some big fancy gold sari silk ribbon there, and a butterfly, and this flips open, and in here we have just some leftover journaling cards. You could tuck all kinds of things in there. And that's the back, my maker's mark. That's the back cover without the ribbon on it. So that's that one. Grungy Boho. And let me keep the beads out of the way as I close this. So that one, again, 56 pages for 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay. Now let's go to this one. This one is, sorry, I'm readjusting in my super squeaky chair. We're calling this one, I don't know, Purple and Sunset Florals. This is a piece of cardstock that I have doubled, And this was born out of, there's sari silk and paper reinforcing, and then it's been sewn all the way around. This was born out of, I had a whole bunch of, when I was doing my scrap busting, I had a whole bunch of these images that were cut out of, I believe, like a wedding flowers book, but they were these gorgeous bright florals, but they're on glossy paper, and I don't usually like use that in my regular journals, but anyway, I had saved them all up and decided that now was the time to use them. So in my scrap busting, I made a bunch of tags out of them and stuff. And then this has some pretty beads on the end here. I forget what this is called. It's the bead that has like little flowers on it. There's a word. Is it like Italian? I don't remember. Anyway, we've got a windy like closure here with a long, long, long bunch of string. You can shorten that up certainly if you want to, but I kind of like the long bunch of string. So it's like an envelope closure here. And let's take a look at this one. This one is definitely just not as embellished. It's more like a writing journal kind of thing. But these are the collage tags that I made, several of these using images from that stuff that I had kind of cut out, that beautiful wedding book florals. So that goes behind this belly band. And then I've just used them. I used Poppiness. So Susan Taylor Brown, I used her, what's it called? I wanted to call it Sunset, but I don't know if that's what it's called. Anyway, it's one of her kits and it's gorgeous. And I do intend to make a full, to use the kit more in the future, but it went really well with this. And then the other funny thing, and I'll show you when we flip here, but these are some of those gorgeous floral images. I mean, isn't that pretty? These are from when you push print and walk away, because again, we're going to talk about how Nikki pushes print and walks away and doesn't even think about it. And then you're trying to print, I think this is Gail's, one of Gail's kits, that it's supposed to be like, eco dye, but you run out of ink in your printer, so it just prints purple. So yeah, I saved a bunch of those, and here I've used them. So they're still pretty. They're not intended to look like this, but here they are. And then this is Susan's kit, Poppiness. And more of those pretty florals. So plenty of space to write in this one. Like I said, it's not highly embellished. Another one of the tags. And then this is just, I put some of the sari silk on these pockets. So that's more of that beautiful kit. Oh, her eco dyes are just incredible. This says Tendre Fleur, French sheet music. There's another one of those big tags, and those have plenty of space to write on the back as well. This is another page from that kit. This is the middle signature of it. And then these are a couple of tags that from that kit that I had to cut down. But I mean, look at those colors. Let me see, is it picking? Oh yeah, it's picking it up. The colors in this. I mean, so my favorite color, like if I could pick a favorite color, it would be the colors of the sunset. So this kit, and then some of these roses and stuff, oh, it's working for me. Look at that. Just beautiful. Pardon me. My allergies have been getting the better of me the last few days. Everything's starting to bloom in full bloom right now here. So see, when you do this, if you're, don't be like me, but if you do this, save these, because look at, this works really well in here. So let's look at that. Golly. And I believe this isn't touched up. Like, I think that's how she was able to do it. Just beautiful. Anyway, this one has 72 pages. This journal does. Its total measurements, another tag there. Its total measurements are 5 by 8 inches. And like I said, this would definitely be a writing journal. However, there is plenty of room for you to add a bunch of stuff and bulk it up. If you really wanted to go in and start adding your own like pockets and tuck spots and stuff, this would definitely be a journal for you, because there is plenty of space for that in here. All right. We're calling that Purple and Sunset Florals. There you go. All right, let's see, where are we at? All right, these four. So let's just go like this. Since we just did some purple ones, let's do these two. These two are almost exactly the same. So I'm going to flip through one, and then the other one, I'm not even going to show you, because it's literally, they are copies, carbon copies of each other. For real. They are totally. So I'm not going to show you, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to show you the other one, because like I said, it's literally the same thing. This is 4.5 by 8.5. They both have 44 pages, and they're just like bright, happy florals, black and bright though. So first of all, let's talk about this fabric from the cover. I found this in the clearance bin at Joann a long time ago. It is like black flannel almost. It's not like a velvet, it's like flannel. But it has this crocheted embroidery on here. I don't know how else to call it. It's like crocheted and embroidered. It is the coolest looking stuff, and it has the most amazing hand feel. Like, I love this. I love this stuff. And it's, you know, the colors just pop on top of this black. When I found it, I was like, usually not my style, but I know that I will find a use for it. It was like super cheap, and I fell in love with it. And, you know, if you get this in your hands, you will know why. I fell in love with it, because it's just got the greatest feel. There are a couple of little beads at the bottoms of the signature. And then there's this great trim, bright trim, that is like a kind of a crocheted lace, floral embroidered lace. I don't even know how to call this. There's probably a specific name for it. But it's at the front of the book, so it kind of lays down over the edge like this. I just love it. Okay, let's take a look at these. This is a kit from Creative Art and Soul. I'm gonna lose everything all over here. Scrappy Spring Garden or something like that. Again, another one that I had bought a while ago, had it printed and had never used. Then I thought, oh my gosh, this black fabric and this, perfect. So that's this one. So here's that lace, and it just like lays down over the edge. It's so cool. So you get some tags. I used some book pages in here. I made a couple of little windy circle tags. Oh, these are from Calico Collage. There's a page of Calico Collage ephemera in here as well. This is a giant flip up right there. This is a piece of rickrack on this little half page here, and it's just got this tag just sticks right in there, like so. So this one is 44 pages, not including all these little half pages. So it's actually more than 44. It's a big pink tag that I did a little bit of stamp embossing on the side there. And an envelope that comes with the kit, a little journaling card that's tucked into this bigger envelope pocket here. And so I'm serious, literally page for page, these two. If you were going to give it to two twin girls or two sisters or something, they would get exactly the same journal. This is from Calico Collage, and that's a big pocket right there. These little banners come in the kit. Then this, I did some stamping and embossing right there on a book page. And this is a library pocket. And behind the library pocket there is another tag, polka dot tag. This is from Calico Collage. I made it into a belly band with a big journaling card behind it. Call, it's loud out there. Can you hear those guys? They're being loud. Our neighbors. Little tag. This is the center of the signature. This is another one of those envelopes with a journaling card. This is a little circle embellishment tag tuck spot thing. That's the official word for it. Another like tall library card, library pocket, and then a Hermelinda tag here with some black lace. And behind that is also a pocket. Then there's the other pocket, just like the first one. Tag behind there, tag in the pocket. Another little banner tuck spot. Little journaling card. And that is a little tag in this little pocket, label pocket. The other side of that coffee stained envelope. Another rickrack tag stuck in. This is another one of those big flips. And there's a tag in here that I did some hand drawing and embossing with gel pens and coloring it in to make some little flowers that match the kit. Another little Wendy tag. Another pocket here with a tag. Oops. And my maker's mark. I love these images. They've got all kinds of like pattern inside of there, inside those flowers. Isn't that cute? Anyway, so that's that. That's these. Because like I said, they are almost identical. Well, they are identical. I think the only difference is there might be a little bit different colored coffee stain paper, like the polka dot flips. That's literally the only difference. So I won't flip through the other one for the sake of time. Listen to my squeaky chair as I try to tie this bow. Okay. I'm gonna stick my note back in there. And then these guys. Now, these are my fave out of all of these because they are so different than what I would normally do, but there is so much texture that I am deeply in love. So these are just slightly different. So I'll go through the first one slower and then I'll go through the second one a little faster. First of all, the outside is made, these have 64 pages. They're 4.5 by 9. And they are made with this wonderful upholstery fabric that has the richest, prettiest jewel tones in it. And then I've got this ribbon that has this great metallic trim on it. So that's reinforcing the spine. And then I've got some upholstery trim. Oh, I left the selvage edge at the bottom here because it literally looks like little fringe, like little tassels where all the little threads from making the weave comes. Oh, and then there's ribbon binding, like casing at the top. Down on the bottom corner here, there is a wax seal with a little bee on it with a little thread behind. And then these are actually in the book. So we'll get to those. But let's untie this. So this is a medieval kit, like a Renaissance medieval kind of kit. Look at that. Oh, it's so fun. And then there's more upholstery trim here. We'll get to that page. But this is by, I believe this kit is by Journal Centric, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lovely kit. And that same reinforcement here comes here as well, just to like really make sure that the seam, or that the signature is sewn in really well. So, without further ado, there's a lot of writing space in here, but there's other fun stuff too. And then these are Tracy's antiquity labels that I used. So in this pocket, there is one of the tags from the kit with this lovely lady. And this whole thing flips up as well. I've used lots of fun stitching on my machine. And then this is like a little envelope. Not envelope, it's like a little writing space. Right? But you don't have to break the seal. More of these lovely ladies. I love the colors of this. This is a Graphics Fairy pocket. Now let's see. These might be Graphics Fairy, or they came with the kit. This came with the kit. This is Graphics Fairy, I think. And then this lovely trim down here. This is like another upholstery trim. And I got it in a grab bag of like different upholstery trims. And I loved it. Man, it was a piece of work. It was work trying to get small pieces of this to try and get it from fraying and going everywhere. Ugh. But it was worth it because I love the way it looks. This is a Graphics Fairy tag, and this comes with the kit. This is upholstery trim here. It's really thick, and like I said, this book is full of texture. Pardon me. Some more journaling cards. Oops. This is another one of those little writing papers with the wax seal on there. And then this is more of that brocade ribbon. And then another like lace over satin ribbon. I don't even know how to describe that other than what I just said. But more wonderful texture. This page has this big upholstery trim on it as well. There. So like you could imagine this around the edge of a pillow or something. But also I used to, way back in the day, I would sew dresses for like Renaissance costumes and stuff. And a lot of times the types of trims and stuff that we used when you're just mass producing it and not trying to be historically correct, a lot of it is like upholstery trims. So that just totally reminds me as I'm making this Renaissance book here. It's clipped in right here, this tag. This is a gorgeous piece of sari that I turned into a flip. And you'll see another piece of it too, but it's got just some little sequins in there. But again, heavily embroidered, like brocadey. So plenty of space for writing in here. This is the center of the signature. There are just some little beads down here. And then behind this tuck spot is a letter. More writing space, another one of those big flips. I love the weight of that fabric. It has nice heft. This is another pinned in card here. This is some more embroidery, not embroidery, some more upholstery trim. Some fancy stitching. This is a layered pocket here. So in the bottom, that's from Graphics Fairy. These are all from Graphics Fairy, these trims here. And then we've got this nice long, you could use that as a bookmark if you wanted, or a tag to write on the back of. These kit pages are just so pretty too. There's that. Another piece of that upholstery trim. Then here's some of that same ribbon that is on the, like, and reinforcing the spine, and another one of those letters. This is all printed on parchment too, so it gives it kind of that nice parchmenty feel. Was that a really good descriptor right there? Of course, parchment has parchmenty feel. Oh, I impress myself sometimes with my use of language skills. This is a waterfall pocket right there. It's a little mini flip, and there are a couple of journaling cards in there. And that's the last page. So this one is going to be called Blue Dress because the woman in the front has on a blue dress. Yep, there's my creative naming at work, guys. And then it's just tied with this dark, lovely seam binding here. All right, and then we'll just go through the other one rather quickly. The covers are built the same way. The fringe, you know. This one's going to be called Gold Dress because guess why? Because she's wearing a gold dress. Creative, I know. Don't get jealous of my creativity. So one of those flips. Another pocket here. So I'm a huge, I'm a really big Anglophile. I love British history, and, you know, there's more of this cool bobbly trim down here. So this totally reminds me, you know, I love the Renaissance period. I love the medieval period, and reading about all the craziness that went on with royalty back through those ages. Like my kids, my girls know way more about Henry VIII and his wives and everything than probably any normal kids do. Because I've made them watch all the movies and documentaries. Although Joy's a little more sensitive and she doesn't like all the killing in some of them because, you know, the medieval times were pretty brutal. Another one of the little letter in the center of the signature. That's from Graphics Fairy, I believe. Another fabric flip. Tags paper clipped on. More of the trim. The layered pocket here. And another pocket here. Uh-oh, did I glue something in? Guys. Okay, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to leave this in here like this because I don't want to rip it. So pretty much this is pretty much the same as the other one. I love that one. Another waterfall there. Another flip up there. There we go. So this one is called Gold Dress. If you want one but not the other, and I'm going to leave that open so I remember to deal with that tag. So guys, there we go. Thank you for hanging in with me this whole long, all these journal flip throughs. piece stuck in there again. There we go. So when this video airs, all of these will be in my shop. So yeah, that's all I have to say right now. I am starting on a farm journal right now, which I'm super excited about. And I think I have a couple of ideas for some craft alongs, little, you know, craft with me stuff as we go through that. Things that I was asked about when I did my last farm journals, which was like, I don't know, like 2 years ago or something. So I will do some tutorials on a couple of the things I was asked about, and we will have some fun doing that. But until I see you again next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, get crafty if you can, get outside, breathe some fresh air. And I will see you guys all again very soon. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is on whatever side of our fantastic planet that you live on. And until I see you again, stay safe, take care, God bless. Bye, guys.